your cup, and if you want to stretch with me, grab a mat or just sit and listen. But I want to talk about the nervous system and how you can tell if your nervous system is stuck in the on position. And why is that even important? Because the nervous system is the commander-in-chief, definitely of your physical body, but it also is running how you think and how you respond to situations. And if your nervous system has been stuck in the on position for a long time, you don't even know that it's on. It just feels normal to you. So I want to give you some things to notice in your life that are directly related to being in chronic stress all the time. And it's not just chronic stress like you have a busy life or you have stressful circumstances now, but it's also the chronic stress condition of having lived through traumatic experiences. And traumatic just means things that are difficult to process and impacted you in some way. So if you had anything in your past, and let's be honest, who doesn't? This life is going to bring you traumatic experiences. So if you haven't learned how to recognize and get yourself into safety, these are the things that you're going to notice in your life. Okay, so just you can grab a paper and pen or just make a note yourself while you're listening. So in your physical body, because again, the nervous system is the governor-in-chief, the commander-in-chief. What the nervous system is saying, everything else is listening to. The first place you're going to notice an issue is your digestive system. So you might feel like, oh, I've always had a sensitive belly, or, you know, it's just how my stomach is. But look and see, how long have you been in fight or flight? Have you had difficult and traumatic issues since you were a kid? Because your stomach's going to tell you. You know when you have a situation that's anxiety producing, you have to go give a talk in front of people, you've got to make a phone call that you're worried about, that feels like it's going to be uncomfortable. Where do you feel it? You feel it in your belly, right? You get the butterflies, the nerves. Even if it's something good, excitement, you get those kinds of butterflies. When you are in stress for a long period of time, the digestive system is so triggered, that butterfly feeling has become such a normal thing that you're not absorbing your nutrients well. You might have constipation or the opposite. You develop food sensitivities. You're bloated all the time. All of those things come from a nervous system signal that says we have a problem. We're not safe, we're not calm, we're not peaceful. So that's the first place. And if you've gotten things like SIBO, like really bad gut bacteria stuff, you can't fix that if you keep your nervous system in a turned on state. It doesn't matter what supplements you do, it doesn't matter the diet, it doesn't matter any of that. You're going to be stuck there. It will keep coming back if you don't learn to manage your nervous system. Also, your immune system. So if you get a lot of infections, you easily get respiratory infections. Every year you're sick with colds. If you have any long-term chronic health issues like autoimmune is an immune system that's fighting itself. When your nervous system has been triggered on for a long time, years and years, you've been in fight or flight, the immune system has had such a confusing message for so long, it also stays triggered on, and then it starts to focus on itself. That's a huge part of why autoimmune conditions develop. You might have a genetic predisposition, I get that, but why is that gene turned on? Is because the nervous system doesn't let your body be in a state of peace and health. And if you're trying to heal from any sort of chronic health issue, like autoimmune, cancer, if you have chronic fatigue, you cannot heal if you stay in fight or flight. Your nervous system is going to keep giving your body the message, we have a problem, and you can't get the resources to actually heal and overcome whatever your issue is. So the immune system. You're also going to notice in how you think, right? So looping thoughts. One way it shows up for the person who's in constant fight, you're going to notice a critical voice in your head. criticizing other people, judgment, and criticizing and judging yourself. So that critical, sort of always looking for a problem voice in your head will be there. Another way that our thoughts are looping all the time is always worrying about what everybody else is doing. So you're focused on, what do they think I should do? How do they feel about this? Other people's opinions. You can't shut that off. It's like this drive to make sure you're okay in everybody else's view. Another way it's going to show up in your thoughts is always replaying things over and over and trying to control an outcome. So what's all the possible outcomes? How do I need to be prepared? Like hyperly vigilant on everything possible, everybody else's response, and replaying over and over to the point where you lay in bed, you can't fall asleep because you just keep going over and over. That's all a nervous system that's stuck in the on position. It's also going to show up in how you communicate to other people, or with other people. So in your relationships, if you have conflicts and when something comes up, right away there's defensiveness, right away you're planning your response before the other person's even finished talking. Like you just feel really stuck in moving forward and resolving, or you don't want conflict, so you just avoid them, you disappear. That's a sign that your nervous system is stuck. It's not how you are, it's how you've learned to cope, because your nervous system has always been on and you've never had that sense of safety. You're also going to notice it in ways in your physical body, like you can't sit still. So your leg is always going when you're sitting there, you're always tapping your fingers, like there's no ability to just be present, to hang out with your family without doing 5 other things, or you disappear in your head. So you find that you disconnect, you're in a conversation and you check out. You can't stay focused. You can't stay focused on a task. Again, you might say to yourself, well, I've always been that way, or well, I have ADHD. There's a huge component that's related to your nervous system. It's not just that your brain works a different way. It's that you have been in fight or flight. Sometimes it's been that way since we were a baby. And so that's the way we learn to be. The importance of nervous system regulation hits every aspect of your life, your health, your relationships, how happy you feel. If you're noticing any of the things that I mentioned and you want to have more information about how to regulate your nervous system and how that shows up, and you know that you feel constantly stressed, put in the comments masterclass. I'll send you a replay of a masterclass that I did that breaks it down. It's about a half hour, 35 minutes long, that goes a little bit more deeper into the background so that you can get a sense and apply it to your life, okay? So put masterclass in the comments and start to really look at how can I make my life and my body feel more peaceful, be calm, improve my health, connect deeper in my relationships, and feel happy, okay? Send me a comment, I'll send you the class. Have a good day.